Imagine living in one of the richest, safest, and most advanced countries on Earth, where trains arrive almost to the second, where lost wallets are returned with every dollar still inside, where crime is so low that children often walk to school alone. Now, imagine that behind those spotless streets and glowing skyscrapers, millions of people quietly eat dinner by themselves every single night. Some go days without speaking to another person. Some spend years inside a single room. Some even pay complete strangers to pretend to be their family. How did one of the world's greatest success stories become one of its loneliest societies? Why are more Japanese people choosing to stay single than ever before? Why has an entire industry emerged just to replace human connection? And why do many visitors completely misunderstand what loneliness in Japan really looks like? By the end of this documentary, you'll discover that Japan's loneliness isn't caused by one problem. It's the result of hundreds of tiny choices that have quietly reshaped an entire nation. And what you learn might completely change the way you see modern life. Japan is often described as a country living in the future. From high-speed bullet trains to robot hotels, smart toilets, vending machines on nearly every corner, and some of the cleanest cities on Earth, everything appears almost perfect. Walk through Tokyo at night, and you'll see millions of lights stretching across the skyline, crowded sidewalks, packed train stations, restaurants filled with customers, shopping districts alive until late into the evening. At first glance, it doesn't look lonely at all. In fact, it looks like one of the busiest places on Earth. But appearances can be surprisingly deceptive because many of those crowded restaurants are filled with people eating completely alone. Many of those apartment windows hide someone living by themselves. And many of those commuters haven't had a meaningful conversation outside of work in days. Japan's loneliness is rarely loud. It doesn't look dramatic. It hides behind routines, behind politeness, behind silence. Unlike many countries where loneliness is linked to isolation or poverty, Japan shows something very different. Here, loneliness can exist even in the middle of a crowd. One reason is cultural. For centuries, Japanese society has valued harmony over individual expression. People are taught from a young age to avoid causing inconvenience to others, respect personal space, control emotions, think about the group before yourself. These values have helped create one of the safest societies on Earth, but they also make it harder for many people to openly talk about sadness, stress, or emotional struggles. Instead of asking for help, many simply stay quiet. As cities became larger and life became faster, those quiet moments slowly turned into something much bigger. Today, Japan has one of the world's highest proportions of elderly citizens. Nearly 1 in 3 people is over the age of 65. At the same time, fewer young people are getting married. Birth rates continue to fall. Families are becoming smaller. More people are choosing, or sometimes feeling forced, to live alone. Single-person households are now common across much of the country. Yet this wasn't always the case.
Just a few generations ago, many Japanese families lived together across multiple generations. Grandparents, parents, children, sometimes all under one roof. Neighborhoods were tightly connected. Local festivals brought entire communities together. People knew their neighbors. Children played outside until sunset. But as Japan's economy rapidly expanded after World War II, everything began to change. Millions moved from rural villages to giant cities. Career opportunities replaced traditional lifestyles. Apartments became smaller. Families became smaller. Daily life became busier. The stronger Japan's economy grew, the weaker many social connections quietly became. Ironically, the same discipline that helped build one of the world's most successful economies also demanded enormous personal sacrifice. Long working hours became normal. Company loyalty became a source of pride. Success often meant spending less time at home. For decades, some employees left before sunrise and returned long after their children were asleep. This demanding work culture even created a word recognized around the world, karoshi. It means
death from overwork. Although awareness has improved in recent years and many companies are introducing reforms, Japan's intense work culture still shapes daily life for millions. When work consumes most of your day, friendships become harder to maintain, dating becomes difficult, family dinners become rare. Slowly, relationships begin to fade, and something unexpected happens. Many Japanese adults simply become comfortable being alone, not because they want to be, but because loneliness slowly becomes routine. If you've ever felt like modern life leaves little time for real human connection, let us know where you're watching from. Is this something happening in your country too? Tell us in the comments. Yet work is only one piece of the puzzle. Perhaps the biggest surprise is that many young Japanese adults aren't rejecting marriage because they dislike relationships. Many are questioning whether they can realistically afford them. Housing costs remain high in major cities. Raising children is expensive. Job security has changed. Permanent lifetime employment is no longer guaranteed for everyone. Many younger workers are employed on temporary contracts with lower incomes and less stability. For some, delaying marriage feels like the responsible choice. Others simply become accustomed to living independently. Today, millions of Japanese adults live perfectly functional lives alone. They cook for one, travel alone, watch movies alone, celebrate birthdays alone. Even restaurants have adapted. Across Japan, you'll find restaurants specifically designed for solo customers, individual booths, single-person barbecue grills, private ramen counters, where diners barely interact with staff. To outsiders, it might appear sad, but for many Japanese customers, it's simply comfortable. There's no pressure, no awkward conversation, no expectations, just quiet. This preference for privacy appears almost everywhere. Capsule hotels, single-seat karaoke rooms, private internet cafes, individual work pods. Japan has mastered the art of making solitude convenient, but convenience doesn't always solve emotional needs, because sooner or later, most people still crave connection. And when traditional relationships become harder to build, entirely new industries begin to appear.
Some of Japan's most unusual businesses exist for one reason only: to help people feel less alone. And what those businesses offer may be unlike anything you've ever imagined. One of the strangest businesses in Japan doesn't sell food, technology, or entertainment. It sells something much more personal: human connection. Imagine attending your wedding, but half the guests aren't your relatives, they're actors. Imagine introducing your new boyfriend to your parents, except the boyfriend was hired for the day. Or imagine your child asking why no one came to school on family day, so you rent someone to play the role of a loving father. It sounds like science fiction, but in Japan, services like these are real. Companies known as rent-a-family agencies provide people who can temporarily act as husbands, wives, parents, siblings, friends, or coworkers. The reasons are often deeply personal. Some clients have lost loved ones. Others are divorced. Some simply don't want to disappoint family members during important events. The actors don't replace real relationships. They temporarily fill emotional gaps. For many outsiders, this idea feels shocking. But to understand why these businesses exist, you have to understand one important part of Japanese culture: saving face. In Japan, maintaining harmony is often considered more important than expressing personal struggles. People usually avoid putting emotional burdens on others. Instead of asking friends for help, some quietly solve problems on their own. Sometimes that solution involves hiring someone. And rent-a-family services aren't the only unusual business born from modern loneliness. Walk through Tokyo's busy districts, and you'll find another experience that surprises many visitors: cuddle cafes. At first, the name sounds misleading, but these places aren't about romance. Customers pay to experience simple, non-sexual human contact, holding hands, talking quietly, resting beside another person.
Some visitors book an hour just to have someone listen without judgment. In many countries, that might sound unnecessary, but in a society where physical affection is often reserved for close relationships, even small gestures can carry enormous emotional value. These cafes reflect something researchers around the world have observed. Humans don't just need conversation, we need connection, eye contact, presence, kindness. Without those things, even successful people can feel completely alone. Japan has also created another unusual service: professional listeners. Instead of offering advice, these workers simply sit with clients and let them talk. No criticism, no interruptions, just someone willing to listen. Sometimes that is exactly what a person has been missing for months. But while these services help some people cope, others disappear from society almost entirely. They're called Hikikomori. The word describes people who withdraw from social life for 6 months or longer, often remaining inside their homes with little or no face-to-face interaction. Some rarely leave their bedrooms. Meals may be left outside the door by parents. Groceries arrive through delivery services. Daily life happens almost entirely indoors. Experts believe there are hundreds of thousands of people living this way in Japan, though estimates vary depending on how the condition is defined. Each person's story is different. Some struggled with anxiety, others with depression. Some experienced bullying, others felt overwhelming pressure from school or work. There is no single cause, and that's important to remember. Hikikomori isn't a stereotype, it's a complex social issue affecting real people with very different experiences. Fortunately, awareness has grown significantly.
Support organizations, counselors, and community programs now work to help people slowly reconnect with society. Recovery often begins with something very small: a short walk, a conversation, a visit to a support center. Progress isn't measured in giant steps, it's measured one day at a time. Ironically, while some people avoid leaving home, Japan remains one of the easiest countries in the world to navigate alone. Restaurants welcome solo diners, hotels accommodate single travelers, public transportation is efficient and safe. No one stares if you're eating by yourself. In many places around the world, being alone in public can attract attention. In Japan, it's completely normal. That independence is one reason many visitors fall in love with the country. But independence and loneliness aren't the same thing. Someone can enjoy solitude while still having meaningful relationships. The challenge begins when solitude becomes isolation. And nowhere is that challenge becoming more visible than in Japan's changing approach to marriage. A generation ago, marriage was often seen as the expected path into adulthood. Today, that expectation has weakened. Many young adults prioritize careers, financial stability, or personal freedom before thinking about marriage. Others say they simply haven't found the right partner. Some surveys have shown that a growing number of young people report having little interest in dating. Researchers continue to debate why. Economic uncertainty, long working hours, changing social expectations, digital lifestyles, all likely play a role. The result is visible across the country. Birth rates continue to fall. Elementary schools close due to declining enrollment. Entire neighborhoods grow older together. Some rural towns struggle to attract younger residents. Japan isn't ignoring the problem. Both national and local governments have introduced programs encouraging marriage, childcare, and regional revitalization. Some towns even organize matchmaking events. Others provide financial support for young families willing to relocate. Whether these efforts will reverse long-term demographic trends remains uncertain, but they show just how seriously the issue is taken. If you're enjoying documentaries that reveal the hidden side of countries, don't forget to subscribe. We explore the places, cultures, and stories most people never get to see. Now, here's something many people don't expect. Despite these challenges, Japan consistently ranks among the safest countries in the world. Women often walk home late at night. Children ride public transportation alone. Lost property frequently finds its way back to its owner. This extraordinary level of trust
didn't happen overnight. It's built on generations of shared social responsibility. People clean public spaces, students help maintain their classrooms, communities organize neighborhood safety patrols. Respect isn't simply encouraged, it's practiced every day. That same respect also shapes how people interact with strangers, which brings us to another mystery. If Japan is filled with kind, polite people, why do so many visitors describe it as emotionally distant? The answer is more complicated than it first appears, and it begins with a single cultural idea that has shaped Japanese society for centuries.
The idea that Japanese people are cold is one of the biggest misunderstandings visitors bring with them. In reality, kindness in Japan often looks different. Instead of asking personal questions, people give you space. Instead of expressing every emotion, they try not to burden others. Instead of speaking loudly, they show respect through quiet actions. To many foreigners, that distance can feel lonely. To many Japanese people, it's simply good manners. This difference explains why Japan often feels like a country of contradictions. It's one of the safest places in the world, yet millions struggle with loneliness. It's one of the richest nations on earth, yet many young adults worry about building a family. It's one of the most technologically advanced societies, yet some of its biggest challenges can't be solved by technology at all. No robot can replace genuine friendship. No artificial intelligence can recreate a parent's love. No vending machine can sell true companionship. Over the past few years, Japan has started recognizing that emotional well-being is just as important as economic success. Companies are slowly reducing excessive overtime. Schools are paying more attention to mental health. Local governments are creating programs to reconnect isolated elderly residents. Volunteer groups visit seniors who live alone. Communities organize neighborhood meals where strangers become friends. Technology is also being used in a different way. Instead of replacing human interaction, many new platforms are helping people find local events, hobby groups, volunteer opportunities, and support communities. Young entrepreneurs are opening cafes designed specifically to encourage conversation. Cities are creating more public spaces where people naturally spend time together. The changes may seem small, but every strong society begins with small acts repeated millions of times. And perhaps that's Japan's greatest strength. Throughout its history, Japan has adapted again and again. After devastating earthquakes, after war, after economic crises, each time the country found a way to rebuild. Its current challenge is different. This time, the buildings are still standing, the trains still arrive on time, the streets are still remarkably clean. But rebuilding human connection is far more difficult than rebuilding cities. Yet there are reasons to be hopeful. Young generations are redefining success. Many now place greater value on work-life balance than previous generations. Remote work has given some families more time together. Conversations about mental health are becoming more open than they were just a decade ago. Even the idea of loneliness itself is changing. Instead of treating it as something shameful, more people are beginning to talk about it honestly, and perhaps that's the first step towards solving it. Because loneliness isn't unique to Japan. It's growing in cities across the world. From New York to London, from Seoul to Sao Paulo, millions of people are surrounded by others, yet still feel disconnected. Japan simply reached this crossroads earlier than many other countries. In many ways, it offers the rest of the world a glimpse into challenges that modern societies may increasingly face. As populations age, as technology becomes more integrated into daily life, as careers demand more of our time, every country may eventually have to answer the same question.
How do we stay connected in an increasingly disconnected world? Maybe the answer isn't found in another app or another invention or another machine. Maybe it's found in something much simpler, a conversation with a neighbor, dinner with family, calling a friend you've been meaning to talk to, choosing presence over distraction. Because at the end of the day, the strongest societies aren't measured only by their skyscrapers, their technology,
or their economy. They're measured by the strength of the relationships between the people who live there. Japan remains one of the most fascinating countries on Earth, a place where ancient temples stand beside futuristic cities, where centuries-old traditions coexist with cutting-edge innovation, where silence often says more than words ever could. It's a country that continues to inspire millions of visitors every year, but behind that beauty lies an important reminder. Loneliness doesn't always look like sadness. Sometimes it looks like success. It looks like a crowded train, a spotless apartment, a perfect routine, a quiet dinner for one. Japan isn't lonely because its people don't care about one another. If anything, they care so deeply about respecting others that they sometimes hesitate to let others into their lives. And perhaps that's the greatest paradox of modern Japan. If this documentary gave you a new perspective on Japan, let us know in the comments what surprised you the most. And if you'd like to explore the hidden realities of other countries around the world, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next documentary.